Thank you for watching our channel and our course. We are providing services for proofreading, article formatting and citation management. And there are much more about the services. For more information, you may contact us on the provided contact details. Thank you. Hello, welcome to the 12th lecture of academic writing, and this is the last lecture of this course. In this lecture, I will be discussing some technical stuff with you. And first of all, I would like to emphasize how to give title to your article. You must know that a title is basically a well-written. First of all, you should know that a well-written title should contain the nature and purpose of your research, and it should be brief and accurate. Sometimes it has limits for words, so you need to make it concise and complete it in the restricted words. It must fulfill the requirement within the limited number of words, and the best time to decide the title is after the completion of the title, because maybe when you are writing the article you come across with an other finding, and in the meantime you are also doing some experiment. So after completion of your article, you should decide what is the appropriate title for your article. The next thing is table of content. Actually, table of content is the appropriate tool to navigate through the document, and it provides an overview of intrinsic structure at a glance. People can see what you are talking about in your whole article by just referring to the headings of your article. It can be presented as, you can see that 1.1 the main heading. You can also give the main heading like this. The next thing is figure. Everyone know that a visual presentation provides a huge amount of information in much compact and efficient way. Figures should have the following characteristics. Their axis should be properly labeled. If you are presenting any graph, you should choose careful numerical values on each axis. Define symbols if used to present dataset in the graphs, and avoid needless backgrounds. For example, if you are using different colors for different data sets or lines, check that differences can still be appreciated if the paper is printed out on the black and white paper. The next thing is figure captions. It is a brief mention of what is shown in the axis, and some indication on how data were obtained. The meaning of the symbols can also be presented in the captions, and statistical significance of any numerical result can also be included. Captions are placed below the figures. This is the important thing. The next thing is tables. Tables also provide huge amount of information on fairly compact form, and title must contain some key features to guarantee readability, and columns typically define the variables while rows contain their values. This is the standard. Now, how to give titles to the tables. Title should include all the necessary details presented in the tables, and titles for the tables are placed above the table. This is the important point. The next thing is equations and symbols. Equations are basically numbered sequentially on right hand side of the equation in the brackets, and equations always type with equation typing option or with other software like type math like this. And ISO standards apply to the use and style of letters, symbols. I will also refer to the general guideline for this particular section. You need to see what their requirements, whether they are following American standards or they are following international standards. For example, symbols for quantities, parameters or variables are written in italic, and units or and other SI prefix are always used in Roman fonts, and descriptive terms always appear in Roman upright font. An italic for the scalar quantity, a bold face for a vector quantity, and a Roman for the unit. For example, you can see that the variables values written in italic, units or prefix always in the Roman, and descriptive always appear in the Roman upright font. Next thing is reporting experimental results and appendices. You need to pay attention to the scientific notions and scientific figures when reporting numerical values. Appendices often appear in PhD theses or other dissertations and are rarely used in the journal article. As a rule of thumb, you can use appendices to indicate some supporting material, for example, some specific terms, some specific abbreviations used in your thesis or dissertation. The next thing, glossary and list of acronyms. Glossary is seldom used in scientific papers or theses. For very technical subject, helpful to include a brief glossary to carefully explain or define key terms used in your work, and it is also useful to add some list of acronyms you have used in the articles. If there are too many terms, if there are few terms, you may not include the appendices. The general rule for the acronyms and abbreviation is to write the term in full the first time and they occur and provide the acronym in the bracket immediately after that. And once you use the acronym or abbreviation, after that you will use that acronym and abbreviation. You do not need to write a full version again and again. The next thing is acknowledgements, mostly included in the PhD thesis and scientific papers. And it is good practice to mention the following: your funding source along with the project, and if there have some funding number like this, you can provide that. The use of facilities, like someone provided you with the equipment like electron microscope, laboratory, or other facilities. The provision of services, and any sharing of data, and any other individual or institution that associated or contributed to your research in any other way, you should mention in your acknowledgements. You should not give them the authorship. I hope you understand the technical stuff of the writing. Please rate this course and give your valuable feedback. I hope I will provide you some bonus lecture on the research article writing.